We are back, and this time we're doing a review of the Monoprice 2.4 gigahertz microphone system. What's interesting is actually the receiver and transmitter can talk back to each other. In opening these things up, I actually own 3 of these. The circuit board on the inside is identical. They are actually, one is a transmitter receiver, one is a transmitter receiver, and they auto pair with each other from the factory. So that's kind of an interesting system. You can actually talk into one, and your talent who is talking on camera can actually hear you, kind of like a wireless IFB system, which isn't actually bad for a wireless IFB if, you know, non-critical audio is what you care about, because there is a slight delay. So let's give this thing an open up. You'll see packaging, blah, blah, blah. This is what packaging looks like with English words written on it. It's actually quite nice. Let's take a look. Here's the user manual. It tells you everything that comes with it right there. What doesn't come in this one, that does come in the BOYA, because if you'll notice, these things look identical to the BOYA WM50, as well as the MOVO WM50. It also looks like the Monoprice. It's a rebrand, people. This is actually produced by BOYA, and when you buy the BOYA version, they actually give you the TRS lav adapter, so you can use Sennheiser wire lavs. When you buy the $8 version from Monoprice and you save yourself $92, you miss that one cable. Let me tell you. So here's something that's interesting. There's the manual, and it says about 1 second worth of delay. Keep that in mind when you do it with cameras. Well, for what I'm actually using this for is actually a wireless return hop. See, I do wireless camera hops all the time, but I need to sometimes just know that they're getting decent audio. I'm not going to spend $400 just to know that. So I've got a little line level to TRS cable that drops it down the mic with a 40 dB pad, and this transmits it back to me, and I can just click my return, go, okay, yeah, they still get audio, my wireless hops are working, let's move on with our day. I don't really care about that little delay, but the delay itself is not 1 second. From what I could tell in doing sync test, it really is maybe closer to like 1/10 of a second. You know, about 3 frames off. It's just enough to where it makes you mad if you were to listen live. But if you were doing a YouTube video for like woodworking and all you needed is a little bit better audio, yeah, you'd be fine. This is good for YouTubers who are like extreme, like noobs. This is not for the extreme hobbyist. This is for like your first wireless kit ever. And for $8, it's going to give you a much better audio than your cell phone. And in fact, if anyone's curious what the lavalier sounds like, I'm actually talking on it right now, going into my headphone jack on my cell phone. So for $8, I got myself a lavalier to do better review videos. Don't care about anything else, but let's keep taking a look at the rest of this product. We'll take a look and you'll see they are actually quite in there. Actually, I had a hard time getting them out of my other boxes. It is packed in here nice and tight. And you can see the units, receiver, transmitter on the side. They both have low cuts. Why? Because they're the same. And in fact, this is not really a line out, that's a headphone out. That's also a headphone out. This is a headphone and microphone. This is also a headphone and microphone despite the labeling. Now you might be wondering, what is the volume control? The volume control is actually the headphone setting right here. I'm sorry, I think it's controlling, yeah, I think the headphone setting right here. So if you input a lav, it actually has auto gain control, which really started to piss me off when I've tried to like play with these things just for fun, because it actually gives you a really annoying, terrible hiss. If you were to use this with the Beach Tech systems meant for 5Ds and for some reason needed to use these, some of those Beach Tech models actually have features that send like a high pitch signal in and gets rid of the AGC, but you can't. So right now, if you were to plug a lav in and not talk, all the bass level of like any air conditioner or anything in there in your background is just gonna go whoop, and it's gonna sound terrible. But if you give it a nice strong signal all the time, always pumping something, you'll never notice that. So kind of an interesting issue that's not mentioned anywhere in the website on any of the people who rebrand this, but they do have auto gain control. Something else is the low cut, I should say. That's low cut on the input, not on the output. So if you were on the receiver end, I'm sorry, transmitter, like I can tell which one's which. But if you were on the receiver end and you were to turn it on, you're actually turning on the low cut for yours. Now I've already been playing around with these things. I've popped some batteries in here. But if you can see, as soon as you turn one on, now I didn't pop any batteries in here. Don't worry. That blinking light means it's searching for signal. Once it finds a signal, they'll actually blink together and you know they've been paired. Simple as that. Just turn them both on. Nothing else going on here. Very, very simple system. Very simple system. We'll turn them off. Something else to talk about is the fact that this is a TRRS connector. That's a TRS connector. I've opened these things up. They're pretty soldered directly to the circuit board, which actually is all of this space with just some space for batteries. You really can't mod these things too much without really possibly destroying the board. But remember, it's $4 for this, $4 for this, and they still give you a bunch of cables. So if you were to think how much that circuit board really cost them, maybe $250 is what they're selling it for to the people who are manufacturing. It costs them less than $1 to make the circuit board for each one of these, and they're still turning a profit. And if you will look at the photos in the rest of my blog post, if you were reading this on the blog, that'd be down here because I always post photos after the video. You'll see they're using some really, really, really tiny components in these things. So it's really impressive that what can be turned out right now in China for not a lot of dollars. This is the future. We really need to just start accepting it. And when we see the better quality products coming out, we need to really start talking with these companies as well, because they're coming after the ones that we use in our industry every single day. You got some mounting pins, a little belt clip that kind of just slides in. What else we got? The hot shoe mount kind of slides in, and all of a sudden you got a hot shoe. If anything, you can use this hot shoe for a lot of things like the Sennheiser. Put some Velcro on it, smack your Sennheiser on top of it. It'll work just fine. So $8, got a lav and a hot shoe. Can't get better than that for $8. And they gave me some free transmitters. They're garbage. What else they give me? Some adapter cables, a little auxiliary cable, the TRS to TRS. Same thing here. We got 2 of them. Why? I don't know. What are you going to use them for? Because you can only go out certain ports and receive. It's weird, but they gave me 2. Again, for $8, I got 2 cables I'll actually utilize. I got a plate I'll utilize, and a lav I'm already utilizing. Not bad. And an earpiece, if I ever need to do an earwig for one person, I suppose, whatever. Let's see, what do we got here? This is it. This is the lav. Like I said, I bought a few of these, so this is the one that came with this kit. Oh, this is not the lav. Oh, I'm using the lav. My bad. This is the kit I rated the lav out of. But this is a headset that does come with a little microphone up in here, earbud, and back. And then, of course, another belt clip. So, oh, a little silica gel, just in case humidity, right? Anything underneath? Nothing. Oh, I care. So, what do I think of this? Well, when I did my range testing, I was actually able to go around 25 feet inside my apartment. They claim 150. That's just not realistic in the modern world. And as Wi-Fi gets more and more popular, you're going to see those ranges drop even more. And that was 25 feet, and I was still getting dropouts. So I wouldn't even call that 25 feet. So let's take a look at the tech specs. How bad are they? They're claiming that it's frequency shifting, whatever. That's Wi-Fi. That's basic. We understand that. The noise, the signal ratio, that's garbage, because remember there's AGC, and that's only noise to signal ratio when you're not talking. The outputs, the inputs, the reception, I'm guessing the reception sensitivity is actually the microphone that's shipped with it, which is possible, I suppose, maybe. When I heard the AGC, they really were pumping it pretty good. We'll get down, talk about the TRS connectors. Operating range, that's some bullshit, don't believe it. The power, yeah, this is actually 3 volts, not bad. We can believe that. Reception, remember if you're pumping headphones, it's going to not last as long.